The Thunder win multiple titles. I mean, could J-Dub be this generation's James Worthy?
He go be nice. Not because of his size, not because of his talent, because of his attitude.
He's playing like a leader.
He's elevated everybody.
This is the MVP. Jay is the MVP.
I've looked at Sam Preston, who obviously is a damn good executive.
The OKC Thunder were one of the biggest surprises in the NBA last season. They won just 40 games the previous year, but made a massive jump, winning 57 games the very next season and finishing as the 1 seed. SGA was outstanding, finishing right behind Nikola Jokic in MVP voting, and several of their young players like Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren took massive leaps forward. But despite having a great regular season, the Thunder showed in the playoffs they still weren't championship ready, losing in the second round to the Dallas Mavericks. But this is simply the growing pains of a team that could be the NBA's next dynasty. The Thunder quickly got busy at the start of the offseason, making a great move when they traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. Now Josh Giddey is a nice young player, but his skill set was redundant on this team with OKC already having 2 great on-ball players in SGA and Jalen Williams. The fact that his minutes were cut in the playoffs made him even more expendable. Alex Caruso, on the other hand, is a great defender and a knockdown shooter, making him a great fit on his OKC team. This offseason, OKC still has a lot of resources available to help them keep improving. They will have over $30 million to spend on free agents, and they have potentially 15 first-round picks over the next 6 years, which could be useful in helping them to trade for an all-star. First, let's break down the Thunder's team weaknesses, and then let's look at some players OKC could pick up to help bring them to that next level. First, let's discuss the Thunder's most pressing needs. For one thing, SGA clearly needs help on the offensive end. He played great in the second round series against the Mavericks, averaging 32 points per game, but his teammates simply didn't step up. Jalen Williams didn't really stand out against the Mavericks. He only made it 42% of his shots in the series, down from his 54% shooting percentage in the regular season. Chet Holmgren, OKC's third leading scorer, also underperformed. Now Chet and Williams could be stars in the future, but with OKC already knocking on the door of contention, it could be time for OKC to move some of their draft picks to get SGA a legit co-star. The Thunder could also use some better 3-point shooting. They actually led the league in 3-point percentage in the regular season, but they got ice cold in the playoffs. Despite getting a lot of open looks in the series, OKC hit just 33% of their outside shots against the Mavericks in the playoffs. Lastly, they need to get better on the glass. The Thunder's lack of size really came to bite them in the ass against the Mavericks because they gave up a ton of offensive rebounds. In Game 6 of the series, OKC was out-rebounded by Dallas 47-31, and it's hard to win games when you get out-rebounded that badly. So now let's look at some trades that could land OKC a star. Lauri Markkanen should definitely be one of their top targets because he helps solve all 3 of their team weaknesses. Lauri is on an expiring contract, and the Jazz are still clearly at the early stages of their rebuild, so it would make sense for the Jazz to trade their all-star big man now before he leaves them for nothing in free agency. Lauri is one of the best scorers in the game, averaging 23 points per game last year. He's got incredible perimeter skills for a player that stands at 7 feet tall, able to put the ball on the deck and get all the way to the basket, or create shots for himself in the mid-range. Lauri's ability to create for himself in isolation should give SGA the scoring help he needs come playoff time. Lauri is also a great shooter, draining 40% of his threes last season, which would allow him to thrive off the ball next to SGA and Jalen Williams. He's also a good rebounder, and with Lauri in the lineup, the Thunder can now play big while keeping the floor space, which should prevent them from getting destroyed on the glass again. He's also 27 years old, so he fits the timeline of the rest of the team. If Markkanen hits the trade market, this is a no-brainer deal for the Thunder. But what if Lauri isn't available? Then the Thunder could target Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans. Ingram is another all-star on an expiring deal, so the Pelicans may move him before he leaves them for nothing. Ingram is another player that can help SGA carry the scoring load. He's a great shot creator, especially from the mid-range where his height allows him to easily shoot over defenders. He's also a solid defender and rebounder, which would help OKC's lack of size, and at 26 years old, he fits the timeline of the rest of the team. So this is how OKC gets SGA a co-star. But what about their need for more big men? There's going to be some very good centers that hit free agency, and OKC will have money to burn. The best center that will be available is probably Nicholas Claxton of the Brooklyn Nets. Over the past few years, Claxton has developed into one of the top defensive bigs in the game. Not only is he a great shot blocker, but he's agile enough to legit guard 1 through 5. Offensively, Claxton is mostly a lob catcher, but he can also put the ball on the deck and make plays off the dribble. Claxton should really help OKC out on the glass while giving them a boost both offensively and defensively. The Thunder could also go after Isaiah Hartenstein of the New York Knicks. Hart has been a backup center for most of his career, but he emerged as one of the best starting centers in the NBA last season. A great rim protector, driving players fucked around and found out when challenging Hart at the rim. He's also an offensively skilled big man, especially as a passer. The Thunder have a lot of guards that cut really well, and I'm sure Hart could drop a lot of dimes finding them cutting to the basket. If OKC can pry Hart away from the Knicks, he would be an amazing pickup. Jonas Valanciunas of the New Orleans Pelicans is also available. Along with being a great rebounder, Jonas is one of the best post-up centers in the game, which gives OKC another player they can run offense through. If the Thunder can't land Hart or Clax, Jonas isn't a bad plan C. But let's say they get none of these guys. Andre Drummond, Mason Plumlee, and Richaun Holmes are much cheaper options that could also help OKC out on the glass. Now let's look at the Thunder's need for better three-point shooting. It looks like Klay Thompson is done in Golden State. Klay unfollowed the Warriors on social media and deleted all of his Dubs content, and in today's day and age, unfollowing someone on social media is a signal that a breakup just happened. Klay's all-star days are far behind him, but he's still one of the better three-point shooters in the league and someone that can create his own shot. He's probably better coming off the bench these days, but he should be someone that can compete for the 6th Man of the Year award. More importantly, Klay has countless big performances in the playoffs, which this young OKC team could really use. Another player OKC could target is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. A 2-time champion with the Lakers and Nuggets, KCP is a proven playoff performer come playoff time. Not only is he an excellent defender, but he's hit over 40% from deep in 3 of the past 4 seasons. For OKC, he would be just what the doctor ordered. And other 3-point specialists that are going to be available this offseason is Buddy Hield, Malik Beasley, and Gary Trent Jr. If OKC could get 1 or 2 of these guys, that should really help to fix their spacing issues that they had in last season's playoffs. So that's going to be the players I'm going to mention in this video. If OKC can add another star, a good 3-point shooter, and a big man, then they're legit contenders in my opinion. And we also have to remember that the core of this team is really young, with all of their key young players being 25 years of age or younger. So if OKC could get the right pieces around them, then the Thunder can contend for championships for years to come. But that's going to be it for me, and now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the free agency and trade pickups I mentioned in this video? And what players would you like to see the Thunder get this offseason? And let me see your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all next video.